Right, good morning all. Dull and dreary day here in Hereford. It's been raining, it's stopped at the moment, but guarantee it's coming again. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. It's not a very nice day here. Oh dear, and I'm tired. Didn't get no sleep last night again. Still, alright. I'll flick over to the screen as though you can see what we got going through this morning. There's a few good ones in this morning as well. Let me just flick over. There you go. We've got a couple of non-runners. This transit, this 07 transit's been in quite a few weeks running now. It's just not. It's a non-runner. It's 2007, but they want 1775 for it. It's not going to happen, is it? Not for a non-runner, you know. Okay, it's a 4.5 tonner, but and it's got 100,000 on the clock. Way too much pennies. So you know, people are going by this guideline that's you know, comes up on the screen. It doesn't even tell you what's wrong with it. Not known. Not known. Oh, I just clicked it on it again. Oh, just one of them days today. Right. So then we go straight in. I mean, I've heard of a Peugeot Expert, but I don't know what a Peugeot Expert TP is. I haven't got a clue. I haven't got a clue what that is. 120,000. Wow, that's a lot. Ex-police. That is a lot. Yeah. You'll all have to tell me if the microphone's not loud enough or too loud or whatever. I'll turn the mic up a touch. Won't know about Brightwells until they fire up. Those two VWs, they weren't in too bad a nick for what they were. The good thing about those, they've only got you know, the highest one is 78,000 on the clock, and they've got a $3,000 price range, you know, guideline. So to me, that's not bad. That's not bad money for such a big van. And I don't know whether they're the 3.5 tons or they're more than that. They might even be the 4 tonner. I don't know. Not without having the paperwork. So anyway, they're direct from the police. We got this Mercedes Vito. That's direct from the police as well. 123,000, 124,000 as good as. Not too bad. It's a 2008. Again, they got a $2,000 price range on it. Don't know. I'm not a Mercedes man. I just think they're bloody rust buckets. But their reliability is bloody good usually, especially and VW. There's that Transporter. He's got a semi-high top on this one. The extra roof. It's fiberglass, but it has got steel rollovers. Didn't look too bad when I looked in there. So I'd be a little bit worried when I do manage to get to look in them. Why are they open? Is there a problem with the lock-in? Don't know. So moving on, we've just got 3 direct ambulance service ambulances. They've all got pretty high mileage. The third one, I think, was the better one out of the 3. The first 2 having bloody right gouges in the side. The second one having broken glass. That glass will be expensive. I can't remember if they're bonded glass. If they're good morning, Cliff. You're in time as well. So I don't know whether those are anything worth. It's not what I'd be going for. The better one, he's got the 31,000 on it. So he's got 319,000 on it. 318,000. So he'd be the better one out of them. Moving on, those 2 Sprinters, they were medium wheelbase ones, and they were immaculate body wise. They were very, very clean. They got 6 dog cages in the back. why they carry 6 dogs. Well, they're from the government, so I should have thought they were ex-military. Don't know. I'm only speculating. But of course, they're 2012s. The price is reflecting that. They want $4.5 grand minimum for them by those looks. So don't very often get these Mitsubishi in. So I think there's a 7.5 ton. I think they're 7.5 ton vans, aren't they? Direct from St. John's. According to the son-in-law, that it's all kitted out in the back as well. Kitchen, microwave. It's got the lot in there by all accounts. It's had a possible speedo change, so the mileage can't be correct. Got a couple of we got 3 iTop trans, 4 iTop transits in now. That one, 112,000. They haven't got a price guide on that one. It's ex St. John's. I wasn't able to look inside them, so not known. This one looks like an ex-railway van or something like that, so because it is a mess van. It had got all the extras in there, including an inverter for the to run the microwave. This one is a fresh one in. It didn't come in until 5 o'clock last night, so that one's fresh in. He's a 2012. He is the high roof, but he's front wheel drive. My words over the front wheel drive ones is they're front wheel drive. When you load a van up, you're putting all the weight on the back axle, which is your drive axle. When you put the weight in a front wheel drive, you tend to lift the front axle off the floor, so your traction goes, I think. A lot of people have begged to differ on that, so it's your choice. That'll have the alternator on there, the smart alternator and things like that. So I don't know. It smells like David's still burning the toast next door. Right. This 2006, he's at Mark 6. He was quite tidy. It was quite tidy. I did like it. It's just that his age goes against it a little bit, and at £1,200, well, I want 11.25 guideline. You know, it's there to be sold, isn't it? So 110,000 on the clock. It's good for that age. It's good for that age. It's not a lot of mileage. Then we're going on to the. I think these are privately owned and entered. This Master has only got £1,000 on the guideline price. The same as the Citroen, that's got 2,000 on the guideline. Moving on a little bit more, yeah, there's 2 Citroens. Well, they're both Citroen, Fiat, Master. They're all the same, aren't they? A little Transit, rust bucket, leave it there. That was pretty. That 2014 Luton. It's got the Aerostream body on it, so that would make a nice little camper. That would, and it's not much wider than a standard van, but you have got a 6 foot clearance, a minimum of 6 foot clearance inside, so the bed could go across. Again, we're skipping those because they've got all those fridge boxes in again and again. They say they're selling, but you know, I think there's still 4 down the bottom. Didn't see it. And then we've got just a couple of little vans. Well, 3 little vans, 4 little vans. So there's not an awful lot to go through this morning. So there could be a lot of chit chat, but there is some good ones to watch if you're wanting a Sprinter or those VW. Those VWs I think will be good value for money and low mileage. That little Astra van is ambulance, ex St. John's ambulance. I didn't expect that. So there you go. That's all we've got sort of lined up. I mean, those two, that relay and that Ducato, they were pretty good, Nick, for their age. That one had got, I think it was the Fiat, that had fingerprint dust all over the windows. So, and it looks like the side doors had been forced. Let's click on it. You can see on the side panel there, if you can see my mouse floating around on there, it looks like the doors have been forced, so perhaps that's why it's got the fingerprint dust on there. I didn't try and open it. I'm just too afraid to, really. Let's have a look if they got a closer up picture. So you can see the side door is prized away from the top, and then the first one, the doors on the back were stoved a bit. They were pushed inwards. Oh no, see, they were just grubby. It's a big van inside though. They got bloody high wheel arches in them though. That's one thing I did notice about them. Looks like it's got the radio controls on the steering wheel. Yeah, 118,000 on the clock. That one's got a dent in the back door as well. I didn't notice. Didn't notice the broken light. I knew that that's the one with the big sort of 3-inch deep gouge on the sill. I do apologise for not being back in time last week, but I was enjoying myself, and I knew it was bank holiday, so I knew the sale was going to be on, but I knew I wasn't going to get any viewing, so there wasn't any rush back. And I did try, you can believe me, I did try to do a live on the Tuesday, but I just couldn't get service because I moved out of that one field and I went up onto the top and down into the next valley. Castleton I moved to. Bloody beautiful there. And I met up with 4 other YouTubers. Yeah, harping on that one. Yeah, this 2006, 150,000, not too bad. I don't think I saw that one. I don't think I saw it there. I think it's been in before though. It looks okay by the photographs, but as you know, photographs can deceive. Yeah, it's quite high inside. I don't think it's the high one though, is it? All the boarding's missing. Yeah, lots of little sketches and snags. Oh, that was that I do. It was there. I remember saying, because all that ply lining's gone from inside, all the damage to the sides, all the dings and that are done by stuff sliding around in the van and hitting the walls. So the dents are outwards, not inwards. Tow bar on it. Didn't see that one. But all in all, I think that one will be a cheap van. 146,000 on the clock. Let's go back up. Yeah, this was the fresh one in. Son-in-law said it didn't come in until 5 o'clock last night. When I checked, there was no photos on it, and they haven't gone on until. Good morning, John. And Eddie the dog. Eddie the eagle. Yeah. I definitely had a lot of fun in Edale. And Mevy is such a laugh. He can take a joke very, very well. It doesn't matter how much you take the mickey out of him. He takes it. He's pretty good. And of course, I also got to meet Craig Virgo. He's a nice chap. He is a very, very, very pleasant, down-to-earth chap. He is in my next video. I've got one more video to put up, which I haven't got round to doing yet. Nope. Not that I've heard of, anyway. I don't think he's got his van fixed yet. Oh, of course, this one's a Mark 6, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think he's got it fixed yet. Well, he was in the tent the weekend anyway. Well, he slept on the floor in Craig Virgo's van. I gave him the choice. He could have put his tent up in my awning and it would have been out of the wind, out of the rain. He would have had to listen to me snoring, but because I would have left the door open for him as though the heater would have come out in there. Oh, out on the tiles. Yeah, a little bit of grot in the wind on that one, but the rest of it was all right. Morning, Dave. Yeah, it was that one I wanted to look at properly. Right, it's just gone 11, so I'll just quickly look at that one. Just wanted to see what was in the back. The bumper's been bent up, I did notice, so I'd be careful about the crumple zone in the back. It's got passenger airbag. Yeah, microwave in there. Yeah. Oh, and a dartboard. Yeah. And it's only got 85,000 on the clock. I mean, yeah, dents like that can be repaired. I did point those out. I mean, if I was going for one today, that would be in my price range. So that's the one I'd be going for. Right, let's flick over and go to their bidding. Where's my right, bid online. Watch live. If you scroll down and say watch live. Good. She's still going through the list of do's and don'ts. So we've caught them in loads of time. I got a guideline of 500 quid on this non-runner. But I must hasten to add that don't forget that there's that £300 indemnity plus VAT on everything. So, you know, if they got a guideline of 500, that's £800 you've got to pay for that. White Van Man, good morning. Right, can you tell me if the sound is okay your end for Brightwells? Because I can't see my thing moving. Can somebody tell me if their audio is coming through to you? Because I can't tell this end. It's quiet. Okay, and I've just turned it up. Because my monitor isn't moving, so I don't know how it's going. Let me move over to screen and cam. Okay, I'll turn it up now. Just got to scroll it up a tad. How's that? Is that better? Very quiet. You keep saying very, very quiet. Right. I've got the volume here full bore and full bore on Brightwell's site. So if you can tell me. Oh, I've just turned the monitor off. There. I was turning it down on my monitor. Morning, Dave. Right, is that better on the volume for Brightwells? One can't tell because my indicator isn't bouncing on here, so it says it's got yeah, audio output. Still very low. Okay then, I'll have to turn my monitor up as though you can hear it through my microphone. There, you're listening it through my monitor now, so I've got it loud in my kitchen. Wow, 900 for a non-runner. I'll turn the mic so it faces them more as well. So I don't know why that's packed in again. Wow, for a non-runner. And it's only an 07 as well. That's the highest ever fetched because it's been in for quite a few weeks running. I still haven't got that quite high enough yet, have I?
Sold away at 2-2 on the phone. Lot number 81 to the doorway we go now, boys. Out the police, March 15 on the 15. Look at Chris in his orange jacket, just in the doorway it is. On the Peugeot Expert TP, the D's of the state, HGI 2 litre L1, 120,000 warrants on the clock, 6 services on a printout. MOT January 2020, V5 is here, 1 owner. Minimum fees apply, 4 seats it is, inclusive of the VAT.
There you go. At least you got me now.
Inclusive of the VAT this time, where is it 4 and go? 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 3,000 and away. Come on then, surely. 15 bid at 15, at 15, 16, 17,
they put a guideline of
18,
yeah, they want 3.8 for this,
2000,
but it is a 2015.
2, 3, 2, 4, 2, 5, 2, 6, 2, 7, 2, 8, 2, 9. At 2-9 now, 2-9 on the phone it is 3,000 bid, 3-1, at 3-1 bid at 3-1, 3-2. At 3-2 bid at 3-2.
Well, that is true, Mr. Johnson, that Mevy wouldn't turn down sleeping with Craig Virgo. Slept on the floor underneath them all.
82 we go, up the police, March 0909, the Volkswagen Crafter, long wheelbase high roof minibus.
Which stopped Craig putting the central heating on then, because Craig couldn't put the central heating on because it was blowing straight into Mevy's face.
3,000, 3,000, 2,000 and start me that and come on. 1,000 bid at 1, at 1,000 out 1,000, at 1,000 bid at 1,000, at 1,000 on the phone.
To me that's a good buy.
1,000 only, 1,100, at 11 bid, at 11 outside, at 11 12 top row, at 12 13, at 13 leaning now, 1,400, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 2,000 top, 2-1 bid at 2-1, at 2-1 starts.
Yeah, Mevy caught the train to
2-1 now at 2-1, 2-2, at 2-2 out on the net,
to Craig Virgo's place, and Craig Virgo fetched him in his van.
2-6, 2-7, 2-8, 2-9, 3,000, 3-1.
3,000 plus 7.5% indemnity plus VAT.
At 3-3 bid at 3-3, starters bid 3-4 internet now, at 3-4 bid at 3-4, on the net it is, at 3-5
I don't know, Dave, I can't remember what ones are coming up. I know there's one, Betty Boondockers, they're putting one on, but it's right up north, that's way too far for me to go. It's right up north.
4,000 bid at 4,000 on the phone it is, at 4,000 out 4-1, at 4-1 internet now, at 4-1 4-2, at 4-2 bid at 4-2.
Yeah, did you see the monster at the end though? Coming over the bank.
At 4-3 now, 4-3, 4-4.
That'll be in my video as well, that one.
At 4-4 now, 4-4. At 4th now, 4-5 now at net. At 4-5 bid at 4-5. Have another. 4-6. At 4-6 bid at 4-6. At 4-6 now at 4-6. At 4th down 4-7. At 4-7 on the internet now.
Yeah, Mevy is very dry-witted.
At 4-8 bid at 4-8. At 4-8 now 4-8.
Just how I like it.
4,800 then at 4-8 bid. At 4-8 then hammers up. Last call 4-9 net now at 4-9.
Wow.
4-9 now put it up. At 4-9
5 grand plus 7.5% indemnity plus VAT on it on all of it.
At 5,000 hammers up.
Somebody desperately wanted that one.
1,000 on the phone.
And to think it started off at 1,000.
The police March 0909 Volkswagen Crafter long wheelbase diesel high roof van 2.5 TDI 78,000 warranted 12 services on a printer. MOT November 19 the V5 with one owner minimum fees apply 9-seater plus the VAT then 4 and away 4,000 4,000 and start me come on then.
Microfiber bevy, yeah.
3 bid at 3 at 3,000 out 3,000 at 3,000 bid at 3,000.
I think they're calling him the Mevster now. I think it was Mevster they were calling him.
3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 6, 3, 7. Top row. At 3, 7 now 3, 8. In the hall. At 3, 8 bid at 3, 8. At 3, 8, 3, 9 net now 3, 9. 4,000 bid at 4. At 4,000 out 4,000. 1 net 4, 2. At 4, 2, 4, 3 net. At 4, 3 bid at 4, 3. Going the same way. 4, 4 now 4, 4. At 4, 4 bid at 4, 5 net. At 4, 5 now
yeah.
4, 5. At 4, 5
They
bid
fetched
at 4,
a lot more money than I
4,
expected.
6. At 4, 6 bid at 4,
So God knows what those other sprinters are going to fetch.
Yes. 4, 8 bid at 4, 8. At 4, 8 now 4, 9 net. At 4, 9 bid at 4, 9. At 4, 9 on the internet.
Is it going to stay there?
4,900 hammers up. 5,000 bid at 5. At 5,000 out 5,000.
It's going to go up because it's the last one of those.
At 5,000 hammers up. Last call sold away at 5,000.
Yeah, I'd bet.
Lot number 84, September 08, 58, Mercedes Vito compact as a diesel, 115 CDI van, 123,000. MOT May 2020, V5 is here. 13 services on the front out. Minimum fees apply, plus the VAT, 2 and away, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, £1,000 start me darling, come on then surely. 5 bid at 5, at 500 out 500, at 500 bid at 500 only, at 500 out 500, 6. 7 at the back, at 700 now, with my starter, 800 standing, 900, 1,000 seated, 11. At 11
it's a big
bid,
difference on the price.
12 is seated, at 12, 13 bid, with my starter now, at 1,400, at 14, 15, at 15 bid at 15, 16 seated, 1,700 is standing. 18 bid, fresh money now, at 1,800 now, 1,800, at 1,800 bid, 1,900, at 19 now, at 19, at 19 now,
yeah,
at 19.
Dave, you're due to leave home now, aren't you? You're,
at 2,000 out, 2,000, at 2,000,
I remember you saying you're going to be out in June. I can't remember the date in June.
At 2-1 now, at 2-2, at 2-2 bid at 2-2.
Well, you've got to be leaving soon.
2-2 now, at 2-2, at 2-2, hammers up, last call, sold away at 2-2. Lot number 85 at the police, November 08, 58, the Volkswagen Transporter T30 short wheelbase diesel to 2.5
it's a pretty big van inside.
118,000 warrants on the clock, MOT August 19.
Bit like a low-line transit, short wheelbase low-line transit. You can't quite stand up in them. But of course it'll get shorter as you put insulation in.
2-2, at 2-2 bid at 2-2, at 2-2, 2-4 on the net now, 2-4 bid, 2-6. At 2-6 bid at 2-6, 2-8, at 2-8 is here, 3,000
It's the reselling value of a VW, they sell well.
At 3-2 now, at 3-2 in the room, at 3-2 bid at 3-2, at 3-2 now, at 3-2, at 3,200 now, at 3-2 bid, at 3-2 out on the internet, you're out on the phone, at 3-2 bid at 3-2, at 3,200 hammers up, last call then, sold away at 3-2.
Alright.
Lot number 86 out the police, November 13, 63. Vauxhall Vivaro, short wheelbase diesel, 2.7 ton, 181,000 warranted, 6 services on a printer. MOT August 19, V5 or one owner, minimum fees apply, plus the VAT, it is 5 and go, 500, 500, 500, 5 bid at 5, at 500 now, 500. 600, 700, 800, 1,000 bid, at 1,000 out, 1,000 with you, 1,200.
It could be that, Dave, it could be the van battery's knackered. Because they self-sense, those do. It is a self-sensing, what do you call it, charger. Yeah, big
in front of me now, at 2-2 now, at 2-2, at 2-2 in front of me now, at 2-2-2-3, little steps, same for you, at 2-3 now, at 2-3, just the one, at 2-3 now, at 2-3, at 2,300, one more,
I don't think your van has got a smart alternator in it, as it though, Dave. You could go for an ordinary self-sensing charger. I think they're what, 30 odd quid, isn't they? And that puts loads of amperage through. A DC to DC will only trickle charge.
115,000 warranted on the clock, 15 services on a printer. V5 is here, one owner. Minimum fees apply, 60 plus the VAT, 4 and away, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. Come on, we're gonna be here all day. 2,000 and away, 2 bid at 2. At 2,000 out, 2,000, 2, 2, 2, 4. At 2, 4 bid at 2, 4. At 2, 4 now at 2, 4. At 2, 4 bid at 2, 4.
Have you got two batteries underneath the driver's seat or just one, Dave?
At 2, 4 bid 2, 6. At 2, 6 now at 2, 6. At 2, 6 bid at 2, 6.
Because if you just got one, I think you'll find that you haven't got the self-sensing. Two battery system does sometimes have a sensor on it, but it's got its own split charge system built into the back of the seat itself. That's why I say you should come off that little black and red box that's bolted to the back.
343,000 warranted miles just running, MOT till February 2020. V5 is here with us, one owner. Minimum fees apply.
The back battery, Dave, only runs the computer, the alarm system module, and a couple of the other little modules. The front and the starter motor is just a starter motor. So the front battery runs the whole ignition, lights, wipers, everything, fan. It runs the whole van. So if that one goes dead flat, you can still start it. Because it starts off the back battery. It's the back battery that is the most important one.
At 600, hammers up, last call, 50. At 650 now, 650. At 650, 700. At 7 bid. At 700 now, 50. At 750, bid at 750, 800. At 8,
if you get a multimeter, and when maybe he was lying,
at 850, hammers up, sold away at 850.
Yeah. If he did, he didn't sell us.
Incorrect miles, we're told. MOT November 19, V5 is here, one owner. Minimum fees applied, plus the VAT.
She said incorrect miles, but what is the miles then?
£100 now at 1. At 100, bid at 100. At 100 now at 100. At 100 now at 100. At 100 only at 100.
With a smashed window, it ain't going to fetch a lot.
Now at 100. At 100, 150. At 150, bid at 150. On the
absolutely great for spares, I reckon.
At 150, hammers up. Last
yeah, get a multimeter, Dave, and open that little red cap off that box on the back, and test them all to see if you've got power coming out of them all, and then you should have one that won't have power. Then start the van up and see if there's power coming out of it once the van's started, and that'll be your split charge, because they've got their own split charge system built into the dual system.
At 100, 150. At 150 now with you. At 150, bid at 150. At 150, won't take you twice. 200, bid at 2. At 200 now, 250. At 250, bid at 250. At 250 now, at 250. 300. At 3 bid 50. 4, 50, 5, 50, 6, 50. At 650 now, at 650. In the middle it is at 650 bid. At 650, hammers up, sold away at 650.
If your battery was swelling up, that's overcharging. That's cooking the battery, and you should have smelt it before you could see it swelling.
Terms as per the catalogue, there it is, plus the VAT. Where do you see it? 5 and go, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 4,000 and away. Come on then, surely. 3 bid at 3. At 3,000.
3,000. I can't remember what their guideline was on these.
4,000 at 4 bid at 4.
£4,500 they want for them.
Now 4,2, 4,4. At 4,4 bid at 4,4. At 4,4 now 4,5. 4,6 on the net. 4,7, 4,8. You're out on the internet. 4,8 sir. 4,9 bid at 4,9. At 4,9 now what? 5,000 at 5 bid at 5. At 5,000, 5,2, 5,4. Is here. At 5,4 bid at 5,4. 5,6. At 5-6 bid at 5-6, 5-8 top row. At 5-8 bid 6,000 now 6,000 6-2. At 6-2 bid at 6-2 6-4. At 6-4 now at 6-4 top row it is. At 6-6 bid at 6-6. At 6-6 now at 6-6 6-8 top row. At 6-8 bid at 6-8. At 6-8 top row it is. At 6-8 bid at 6-8.
Leisure batteries don't go much over sort of 3 years. You're going lucky if you've got 3 years out of it.
Sold away at 6-8. Lot number 92 out the MOD to us, 2012 Mercedes Sprinter diesel van. They're not warranted a miles.
I mean, a standard van battery, you're only taking out what you start the van with, so it's always fully charged. It stays fully charged. But a leisure battery, once you've turned that ignition off, you drop the power, start it up, build the power back up, and it's that's cycling all the time. There's only so many 100 times that you can flatten and charge them. Wow, they are fetching a lot of money. They are fetching a lot of money.
It's going to be sold 586,062.
Well, we've worked bloody hard. We've got my caravan ready. It's going into the auction tomorrow, hopefully. Try and take it down to the auction tomorrow, so it'll be in next Tuesday's sale. There's quite a few caravans and campers going in next week. Wow. That was very good money for those. No mileage on the clock. That's what's doing it. It's police, so it's serviced and maintained as regular as anything.
Normal fees apply. Tail lift and possible speedo change were told. Plus the VAT then. With the box body on the back, where do you see it? 500, 500,
and get a good make one if you're gonna get one, mate, because these cheap things off eBay, they say they're 110 amp hour, but I don't think they are. Go to a reputable leisure battery, caravan camp club, caravan place, and at 2-1 now, 2-1, 2-2 the way, 2-3. Yeah, it's the trouble when they're underneath there.
2-4 now on the phone, it is at 2-4 bid. At 2-4 now, at 2-4, 2-5 nest. At 2-5 bid at 2-5. At 2-5.
Well, it's fetching good money, this is. Mine has only got 21,000 on the clock.
2-6 on the phone, it is at 2-6 bid. At 2,007 now, 2-7 nest. At 2-7 bid at 2-7.
Because I don't think I'd want St. John's ambulance to rush me down to hospital in one of those anyway.
At 2,800 then, hammers up. Last call, sold away at 2-8 on the phone.
95. Yep. How much? 5k, you reckon? Right? No, yeah, well, he's 2012. He might reach that here.
Van TDI, 112,000 warrants on the clock here. V5 is here with us too. Normal fees apply. Plus the VAT, don't worry, is it? 2 and go, 2,000, 2,000, 1,000.
But it's got everything in there. You've got to take into account an Ebbisbatcher Airtronic diesel liter is 800 quid minimum. An inverter is what? 500 quid, 600 quid for a big decent one like that.
You're out now. 6. At 6 bid at 6. At 600 now at 600. At 600 bid at 600. At 600 hammers up.
Sorry, odd socks. I'd always say go for a reputable one. There is a way you can test what amp hour they put out. But you have a meter to do that.
Water heater, hand wash station, night heater, fly lines and racks in the back. And it's privately owned and entered into us today then. Private entry plus the VAT, don't worry, is it 5 and go? 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 4,000 and start me 3 bid at 3. At 3,000, 3,2, 3,4, 3,6. At 3,6 bid.
By the time you put the VAT on this, Dave.
Now at 3,6 private entry. At 3,6 bid at 3.
The entry and the indemnity and the VAT.
At 3,600 then at 3,6 bid. At 3,6 now at 3,6. At 3,610 hammers up. Last call, weigh-ins on at 3. number 96, July 12 on the 12, the full transit 350, the high roof van 82,000 warrants on the clock. V5 is here with us plus the VAT, then 4 and away 4,000, 4,000, 3,000, 25 bid at 25 at 2526.
Right, yeah,
27 plus the VAT
it wasn't a gel bat then. If it was an acid, if it was liquid acid, they have breather pipes on the top, and under the seats of transit there is the pipe work to be able to connect those batteries up as though they breathe outside, because that's the last thing you want them is to start gassing underneath the seat.
Private entry. No VAT, no VAT.
That last one only fetched 27.
At 500 now, 500. Private entry at 506. At 6 bid at 6. At 600 now, at 600. I'll submit it. At 600 now, at 600. No
Right.
VAT. At 600.
Well, it should still power those.
At 600, hammers up. Last call, provisionally sold at 600.
It all depends what lighting. I mean, LED lighting doesn't take anything, and there's no fast draw, high amperage draw on a LED bulb.
It's a 120 medium roof, 145,000.
And a water pump isn't on all the time. How she's flying through these vans.
At 6 bid at 6. At 600 now at 600. At 600 now at 600. At 600 only at 600. At 600 then hammers.
Yeah, that would have been a nice cheap conversion, that Mark 6. But it's reached 600 quid, right? And because it's gone provisionally, they'll try the owner to see if they'll accept that. So there's VAT and everything to go on there. But if they don't accept it, you can phone them up tomorrow and make them on offer. Find out how much they want and make them on offer, and they'll barter with you.
V5 is here with us. Plus the VAT, 2 and go, 2,000, 2,000, 15 and away. £1,000, come on, surely. 5 bid at 5. At 500, 6, 7. At 700.
No, I thought then she was going to put the kettle on.
700 bid at 700.
Because this one went cold.
At 700. At 700 bid at 700. At 700, 8 bid at 8. At 850. At 850 now, 850. 9.
It's the damage to those doors that's
950.
Why this isn't going up.
1,000. Any more? At 1,050. And again? 1,100. At 11 bid. At 1,100. Try another. At 1,100. At 1,100.
Just goes to show that they are in the arena buying this time, bidding this time.
On the red ticket is number. What's your buy number today, please? 37. Just pop in, Steve Dave, when you get a second, just to the edge of the rostrum. Lot number 114, December 07 on a 57. Fiat Ducato 35 Maxi, long wheelbase diesel, 2.3 multi-jet high roof van, 137,000 warranted on the clock. V5 is here with us, plus the VAT, 1,000 go, £1,000 then 1,000, 555 bid. At 500 now, 500, 600. At 6 bid at 6. At 600 now at 600. At 600 now at 600. At 600 bid at 600. At 600.
The damage on those back doors is reflecting on this one as well.
Last call, weigh and done at 6.
Provisional. Yeah.
Lot number 115.
Oh, what a bucket. Yeah. I don't take sugar either.
208,000 warrants on the clock. MOT October 19. The V5 is here plus the VAT. It is 1,000 and go. £1,000. Change the colour. £1,000 then 5 bid at 5.
Change the colour. Yeah.
No? 2 bid at 2. At 200.
I mean, to get rid of the rust out of that, you want a stick of dynamite.
200, 250. At 250 bid at 250. At 250 now at 250. At 250 only at 250. At 250 bid. At 250 hammers up. Last call, weigh and done at 250.
I think this would make a lovely camper. Because it's got all the aerodynamics on the Luton part. So it won't use much more fuel than a standard van.
One owner only. It's a one owner out the company to us. Cruise control, reversing sensors, security locks.
But it's got all these extra little toys with it.
You can probably see additional lighting in the box body as well.
And if I was still on that, if I'd still got that firework contract, that's the one I would buy, especially because I had the cruise control.
5,000 and start me there, then come on, surely 5 bid at 5. At 5,000 out, 5,000. At 5,000 bid at 5,000. 5-1. At 5-1 bid at 5-1 on the low floor. At 5-1 bid at 5-1. At 5-1 bid at 5-1. 5-2. At 5-2 bid at 5-2. At 5,200 hammers up. Last call, weigh and done at 5-2.
Well, I can't understand why they keep trying to sell these. Well, they're paid to sell them, aren't they? So,
Mercedes Sprinter 313 CDI.
yeah, so I got my work cut out for the rest of the day. I've got to finish getting that caravan cleaned up. It's been sat there since just before Christmas. It was all covered up, and then we had all those windstorms and attacked the sheet.
27 at 27 bid at 27 at 27 now at 27 28 at 28 bid at 28 at 28 now at 28 at 28 bid at 28 at 2,800 hammers up. Last call provisionally sold at 28.
Yeah, they were fetching 3 something last week, the week before.
8 out of Hitachi to us, December 1464, Mercedes Sprinter 313 CDI medium diesel 3.5 ton fridge fan, 146,000 warranty on the clock, MOT December 19. V5 is here plus the VAT, forward away 4,000. 325 bid at 25 26 27 28 down below. At 28 bid at 28.
Turn one of those into a camper. At least it's got aircon on the roof, innit?
Bid at 28 at 28 now at 28 at 2,800 then at 28 bid at 28 then hammers up. Last call provisioning sold at 28.
Oh, they're not fetching this week.
Number 119 out of Hitachi November 1363 Mercedes Sprinter 313 CDI medium. It's a diesel 3.5 ton fridge fan automatic, 143,000 warranty on the clock, MOT November 19. V5 is here, one owner plus the VAT, 25 bid at 25, 26, 27, 28, at 28 bid at 28, at 28 now at 28. At 28 bid at 28 on the fridge. At 28.
Well, these are the last of the big vans, and we're just on to, is it 4 little vans? So it's going to be a nice early finish today.
Lot number 120 out on the doorway out of Hitachi to us, October 1464, Mercedes Sprinter 313, medium diesel fridge fan, automatic, 151,000 warranted, MOT September, V5 is here, 3 and guide plus the VAT, 3,000, 25 bid at 25, 26, 27, at 27 bid at 27, 28, at 28 bid at 28, at 28 now at 28, at 2008 then hammers up, last call provisionally sold at 28. We'll ask the question.
Yeah.
1, 2, 1
The Brightwells.
Mercedes Sprinter medium diesel 3.5 ton high roof fridge van. It's an automatic 167,000 warranted.
No, his new van hasn't got wheels.
4,000, 4,000, 3,000 and start.
Still got a bunk bed.
25, 26, 27, 28, 28.
I'd love to see Max trying to jump that high to get up on that bed.
At 28 bid at 2,800 hammers up. Last call, weighing done at 28. On to the little round now, Rob. Thank you very much. Into the
Yep.
we go then. Lot number 141 out the police.
And something gnawing behind the timber.
It's a 2-litre TDI.
That likes cheese.
On the clock. MOT May 2020. Minimum fees apply on this one then, plus the VAT.
I got a laugh. We got a mouse out in the shed.
If not, you'll have to apply, okay?
It's living on. I think it's living on because we got bird tables and baskets and everything for the birds and everything out there. And I think it's just living on what the birds are dropping.
And 19 bid at 19, 2,000 at 2 now. You're out on the internet. 2-1. He's on the floor.
Not now. Not now. Not after today's video. He hasn't. He's come back. He's been to the parlour, groomer parlour. But if he had fleas to start with, you can guarantee they're at home. They'll only jump back on. And I suppose he caught the fleas off Brett, did he?
On the floor at 3,000 bid. At 3,000 then hammers up 3-1 net. At 3-1 bid at 3-1. Try again. At 3-1 hammers up. Sold away at 3-1 on the internet. Lot number 142 out, the main agent to us. Look at this then.
I think it was just to meet the girls, because he's quite interested in my little girl.
14,000, that's all warranty on the clock here. 3 services in the book. V5 is here with us as well. No VAT on this one, okay? No VAT. 8 and away, 8,000, 8,000,
Yeah.
8,000, 6,000 and away. Come on then, surely 5-5 bid at 5-5 at 5-5-5-8. 6,000 at 6 bid at 6-2 at 6-2 now 6-4 at 6-4 bid at 6-4 at 6-4 is on the left now at 6-4 bid at 6-4. You're out on the internet. At 6-4, no VAT. At 6-4, but at 6-4. On the left it is. At 6-4, but at 6-4. At 6-4, now at 6-4.
Help.
At 6,400, hammers up. Last call. Provisioning sold.
Yeah, just tape them up. If you've just got the wires hanging there, just tape them over. You only got to stop the earth cable hitting anything metal. And drive it around then. And why can't you get it out?
103,000 warranted on the clock then. MOT January 2020. V5 is here with us. We're just taking it to the door. It's smoking slightly. Do you want to gas?
Oh, I thought she was talking to me.
2,000, 15
Dismiss
away,
this alert.
5, at 5, 6.
When she does that, this is where I usually lose her.
7, 50. At 750 now, 750. At 750 bid at 750. At 750, the one in the doorway, 800. At 8 bid at 8. At 800 now, 800. 50. 900. 50. 1,000 bid.
Yes, it'll definitely be alright to drive it in, Odd Socks. It'll definitely be, as long as you tape the live terminal up, as though he doesn't donk around and hit anything. Yeah. Oh, hello. Where have you been? Oh, I can't reach you, girl. Push.
144
Push.
we go, running on our jump cap.
Push. Oh, I can't pick you up, darling.
60,000 warrants on the clock.
Oh,
Three
come
services in the
right
book.
up.
MOT September 19. V5 is here, one owner. No VAT. There it is, 2 away.
Say hello.
2,000, 2,000,
Say hello.
1,500, 1,000 bid at 1. At 1,000, 1,100, 1,200, 13. At 13 bid at 1,300, 14 now. At 1,400 bid at 1,400. At 1,400 now, 1,400. At 1,400, hammers up. Last call.
Kiss a kiss.
14.
Hey, kiss a kiss.
Law number 145 out of St. John's Ambulance, January 0352, Vauxhall Astrovan, Diesel Envoy, DTI 1.7, 78,000 warrants on the clock, MOT November 19. If you don't have the paperwork, we'll get any, we'll send it on. If not, you'll have to apply.
Sausages.
Plus the VAT, it is, where do you see it? 5 and go, 500, 500, 500, 100 bid at 1. At 100 now, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 50, 4, 50, 5. At 5 now, 5. With my starter now. At 500 then, hammers up 50. Fresh money. 600. 50. At 650 then, hammers up. Sold away at 650.
So what did you just write then, Mr. Johnson? Because it's been retracted.
2016 on a 65 plate. The Land Rover Discovery Diesel 3 litre STV6 SE automatic.
Well, that's all the vans.
Policy, okay? Full services in the book. MOT February 2020. V5 is here.
What are you looking at me like that for?
Alice Sitman Group, where do you see it? 14 and go. Commercial, 14,000, 14,000, 12,000 and away. Come on then, sure. Right then.
So what volunteers have I got to? Yeah, just tape up the ends. That's all you got to do. Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. So who's volunteering to come and help clear this caravan out?
11 bid, 11,000 on the internet it is, 11,000 bid, 11,000 out on the internet.
I've got all the cushions out. They're all out in the conservatory. They're all out there airing.
On the commercial, 11.5 bid, 11.5 now, 11.5.
So I've got to put all that back together.
11.5 then hammers up.
They're over it out.
Sold at 11.5.
But of course, because it's in the drive, I can only get to the front and the passenger side. I can't get to the driver's side and the back end. So I can't wash that until I'm ready to take it, and I'm not taking it until tomorrow afternoon.
8,000, 8,000, 6 bid at 6. At 6,000 now, 6,000, 6,2. At 6,2 bid at 6,2. At 6,2 now at 6,2. At 6,2 bid at 6,2. At 6,2 now at 6,2, 6,4 next. At 6,4 bid at 6,4.
Yeah.
At 6,4 on the internet now. At 6,4 bid at 6,4. 6,5.
None of that, Dave. I'm in the middle of building an insulated shed out there as well, so I need the space to do that. I've got I'm chauffeur on a wedding on all day Saturday, so I can't do anything on Saturday, so I should be all day Sunday recovering from that, because weddings tend to go on for an awful long time in the evening. So one's got a show for all the some of the guests back and forth, and it would be in the country, so it's 5 mile each way. But I have been told that there's a few of them that are stopping at travel lodges. Well, the nearest travel lodge is about 8 to 10 miles away. So I said, if it's only me working that night, I'm not going to get very many people done, because you can't race with the passengers on.
174, March 13, the Ford Ranger diesel pickup double cab limited, 2.2 TDCI, 57.
Too Americanized. I don't like it. I don't like that.
V5 is here with us, plus the VAT though. On the Ranger Limited, 9 and go, 9,000, 9,000, 8,000, 6,000 and away, come on, 6 bid is 6, 6,000 now, 6,000, 6,2, 6,2 bid is 6,2, 6,4, 6,4 bid is 6,6, 6,8, 6,8 bid is 6,8, 7,000 now, 7 bid, 7,000 out, 7,000, closer to me, 7,000, 7,000, hammers up, last call, provisionally sold at 7,000. We'll ask the question.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go and sit in the little boy's room for half an hour first, read the paper, and I'm going out to finish off that caravan. Yeah, with only 2.2s in. Yeah. And I think a lot of them have got Mitsubishi engines in, I don't know. I thought they had. I know one of the Rangers have got transit engines in, the Durotex. But I think there's, is it just on 200 vehicles now to go through.
176 out the company, Juno 909, Mitsubishi L200 double cab, animal, 93,000 warranted, MOT February 2020, V5
the animal.
VAT 5 and go, 5,000, 5,000, 4,000 and away, come on then surely. 3 bid at 3, at 3,000, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 6, at 3, 6 bid at 3, 6.
Too much money.
6 now at 3, 6.
There's a lot of money in these 4x4s, that's why they're doing them.
At 3, 6 and at 3, 8. At 3, 8 on the net it is. At 3, 8 bid at 3, 8. At 3, 8 then hammers up. Last call, provisional at 3, 8. On the net, CAR.
Right then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm calling it a day. I'm going to turn the volume down on that a bit, and definitely be doing videos and that next week, because my caravan's in. So you'll be able to see how much that one fetches. I don't think, I don't know, we're going to put a low reserve on it, but I just don't want it back in the drive. It's not being used, so you know, it's just a waste. So I think it just has to be got rid of. And I think I picked the right sale, because there's enough in there this next week. It is a proper leisure sale, so they've advertised it all. So whilst I was down there filming yesterday, there was 2 people looking over the one big camper. They were queuing up to see it. Right, I'll love you and all, and I'll see you all next week. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I can't get this channel monetized until I've got over 1,000 subs. It was one that was fetching in the main income on WOMBLE's channel, so now I've lost that revenue as well on there. So have fun, and I'll see you all. Oh look, she comes out to make tea now. Right, love you all, see you next week. Yeah, hit that like button, have fun.